Right, hopefully everyone can hear me all right. Just responding to the message that I got from a young lady that seems to have a relationship with somebody that's mostly through text. Um, Thanks for reaching out. I have two things that I'm going to cover. Self-disclosure and perception are the main themes, and we'll sprinkle other topics into that as we get further, but those are going to be the main two things that we talk about. I just want to start off by saying it's completely normal to feel what you're feeling. I saw that you said in there that you didn't want to come across as crazy, which is totally understandable, and you should never feel that way. Whatever you're perceiving to be happening in this relationship is totally valid, and it needs to be shared with the other person. And we'll go into that as we talk about perception. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that we covered the fact that you're not crazy. Everything that you're seeing is actually happening, and it's just a matter of sharing it and expressing it to the other person. And we'll get into that. So let's just start off with perception. So perception is the way that somebody sees something as happening to them. Um, it's personal, it's a subjective view, but as people we try to make it as close to reality as possible. So we kind of already touched on it, but I just wanted to make double sure, triple sure that we established the fact that what you're experiencing and how you're feeling about this relationship is totally valid. There's no need to be ashamed. There's nothing strange or odd about it. You're wanting to connect with this guy on a physical level, person to person, and that totally makes sense. So your perception of the events is that you're ready for this relationship to move from text to person. And again, that's valid. The other topic is self-disclosure. And so self-disclosure, in a book that I've been reading called Bridges Not Walls, it describes self-disclosure as, showing your intentions, showing something about yourself to another person in an effort to get closer to them. And so it seems like some of that has already happened over text. And as I'll dive in further when I give you a couple recommendations, it should probably happen again and maybe with a little bit more intentionality. But overall, perception and self-disclosure are two very important things in a relationship. And I'm sure you've already seen some of that with how you're feeling. So I'll dive into some recommendations. So first, I'm gonna say, as hard as it might be, that you need to disclose to this person exactly how you feel. If this relationship is going to move forward, honesty is going to be a huge part of the relationship, obviously. And so I would say that you should disclose how you feel. So you feel like you want things to move forward. Maybe even talk about the dynamics between him being a couple positions above you, even though he is in a different building. And I would disclose how you want things to be in the future. So if that means to you that you want to meet up with him more often, or you want to make sure that this relationship can exist in the real world, not over just text, I would be very clear about that. And if you'd like, share why those things are important. I think context is really significant to people in understanding how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way. So the next thing too is he's going to perceive that message in a certain way. So whether it's positive or negative, I would say that you need to be ready to listen, and to listen intentionally and try to understand where he's coming from, because he might have just gotten out of a relationship and he's not ready to jump into something as quick as you are, or whatever it might be. Just be ready for the response. I would ask questions. That's something I wrote down. Make sure that he feels comfortable sharing how he feels. And obviously, he needs to be comfortable with you sharing how you feel. But I would say if you really want to establish a positive environment, it can start with you. So that's my advice. Best of luck. In one of the books I'm also reading is called Sapiens. It talks a lot about how men and women do this little dance, and we're always competing to find a mate. So this is totally normal. Once again, personally, it bugs me when people make women out to be these crazy, nonsensical people just because they want transparency in a relationship, and it's always bugged me. So you're not crazy. Best of luck, and yeah, thanks.